Hello everyone. In this lecture, let's talk about color and polarization. So the objectives here, so we'll try to understand how to recognize how additive colors affect the color of the light, and we recognize the how pigments work and the color of the reflected light, and we'll try to explain how linearly polarized light is formed and detected. So let's start with color. So additive primary colors produce the white light when you combine all of them. So for example, light of different colors can be produced by adding, for example, primitive colors. So the primitive colors are red, green and blue. So let's talk about additive color mixing. So what happens in additive color mixing? Notice that when we take additive color mixing, the idea here is that when you take red and green, when you mix red and green together, you get yellow. So when you mix red and green together, you get yellow. Let me change the pen. So when you mix red and green, you get yellow. So that's easy to understand. Let's take the example of green and blue. When you mix green and blue, you get a mixed color cyan. But in the same case, when you mix red and blue, you get a color called magenta. In common words, we call it purple. But the thing is, in the actual spectrum of colors, purple doesn't exist. Because in the actual spectrum of colors, you can see yellow, you can see cyan, but you will never be able to see magenta in the spectrum. So it doesn't exist in the spectrum. So let's take a look at it, how it looks in the spectrum. So let's take a look at the spectrum and let's understand why in general purple does not exist. If you remember, in the spectrum we have in the red part, so if you take the entire spectrum, you have violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. Notice that the entire spectrum of red, when mixed with green, you end up with a color yellow. That's fine because it is in the spectrum. In the same way, when you mix blue and when you mix the idea of colors, when you look at the other colors, in the same way, you have cyan. So this is the color cyan that you find in the spectrum. But nowhere in the spectrum do you find the color purple. Where is purple? The reason you don't find the color purple is because your eye is tricking you to think that it is purple while it's not purple. Now this might be hard to understand, but understand this clearly. Whenever you have red and green mixing, there is a clear path to understanding that there is a color called yellow. Whenever green and blue mix, there is a clear path called cyan. For example, if you look at green here and blue here, you get cyan. But the problem here is that when you look at red and blue, so when you look at red and blue, there is no actual path for them to mix together because they are so far apart in the spectrum. So what your mind does, it actually makes up this color. So this here is the process of additive color mixing. Remember that in physics, it's not possible to mix colors. So physically, it's not possible to mix red and blue. But biologically, it's possible. How? How is it possible? By the concept of perception. Meaning that your eye perceives this color without even knowing that it's actually a color in the spectrum. This is the idea behind additive color mixing. So understand that color mixing is not a concept in physics in general. It's a process that happens through your eyes. Your receptors or your receptors in your eye detect that these are a mix of two colors that are generally not possible, and they make up a color that looks like magenta. So this here is the idea of understanding how additive color mixing works. So to explain this much more clearly, uh, I'm also going to kind of show you a small video along the lecture so that you understand how actual mixing of these colors work. So now that we have learnt about additive color mixing, let's talk about subtractive primary colors. So primary colors are the ones that filter out all light when combined. So what happens here? You can produce pigments that can be produced by combining subtractive colors. The subtractive colors are the colors that you get in additive primary colors: magenta, yellow and cyan. So subtractive color mixing takes in place the concept of the pigments when you combine them. So for example, if you remember from the video, it shows you that when you combine blue and green, you get blue. So but here, the problem here is that when you do the same in reverse, the actual part will undergo subtraction. So the subtraction here is the cause of subtractive color mixing. So when you mix the colors, what you do in additive mixing, the colors that you mix in additive mixing, for example, understand that when you consider the formation of magenta, so formation of magenta happens due to the color mixing when you take place two colors. Now the subtractive color mixing takes place when you take the colors that you used to mix before and combine them together now. That's when you get the original colors that were originally used to form these colors. So this is called the subtractive color mixing. So that's a simple concept. You don't need to touch too much about it. So let's talk about polarization. So with that, let's start with linear polarization. So what is linear polarization? Let's talk first what is polarization. So polarization is the alignment of electromagnetic waves in such a way that the vibrations of the electric fields in each waves are parallel to each other. So light in general can be linearly polarized through transmission. So the line along which the light is polarized is called the transmission axis of that substance. So how is light linearly polarized? For example, most light has multiple waves of electric fields and multiple waves of magnetic fields. Now in all of them are in a different order and in a different alignment. What does the polarized light do is it aligns all of the electric fields of all of the waves, and it aligns the magnetic fields of all of the waves. So what happens here is that the electric field is represented by the arrow of vibration of the electric field, and the dot here represents the magnetic field and its motion. So this is the concept of linearly polarized light. So what we are doing here is we are aligning the electric field and the magnetic field to be at the same angle so that the actual oscillation that comes out of these oscillating fields ends up being a little higher and little larger and little more powerful than that of the original light. So aligned and cross polarizing filters. Let's take an example of an aligned filter. Aligned filter is where you end up with, so aligned filters are where if you take two filters and you're able to see through it, then that is called aligned filters. Cross filters are when the light that's going in, so this is the light here. So for example, if you consider this is the light wave, so we are talking about a light wave that has the electric field that's being aligned. Now if all the light that passes through aligns itself in one direction, these are called aligned filters. What happens in cross filters is that the first one has a horizontal electric wave field and the second one has a vertical electric field. So what happens here is that they cancel each other and create no light. This type of filters are called crossed filters. Now, why do we need to polarize waves? So light can be polarized in multiple ways. One way is by reflection, the other way is by scattering. So when you do it at a particular angle, so reflected light is polarized horizontally. So for example, you can take sunlight scattered by the air molecules is generally polarized from an observer on the Earth's surface. So when you take a molecule of the atmospheric gas, the unpolarized light coming from the sun, when it hits that gas, comes down as a polarized form of light. This is called as polarization by reflection and scattering. So first thing that happens is it undergoes a reflection in the molecule and then it undergoes scattering. So with that, we end the topic of polarization and color.